rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between our visitors and the Philadelphia Eagles. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their enigmatic quarterback, the Heisman winner from Baylor. It's Robert Griffin III.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Griffin. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Griffin, and this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
2nd down and goal. Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1, Charles.
And for me, it brings back memories of how tough it is to win this division, because when I was a kid, there used to be a thing called the NFC Central that was known as the black and blue division. And everyone called it that because of how hard it was to win it. I think that's been transposed into the NFC East. I mean, trying to win that division, being able to get there, it's quite an accomplishment.
On 2nd down, it's Grant, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern, because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
The throw complete here to Williams, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The pickup goes for 16. And a Raider first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down now. It's Jacobs, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
We always talk about and we always look for guys with fresh legs down the stretch of a long NFL season. Well, in Week 16, he's AFC Player of the Week, and it looks like he's going to be strong for Week 17 as well.
A bit of it. Opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 30 on 2nd down. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives him a little bit of room to complete it.
Here's Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
To throw again on second down. Carr got an open man. It's Foster. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Carr now on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think you got caught in between and created a foul.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. Carr now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after one. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. This pass from Carr taken in by Waller. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Here's Carr. It's caught here by Adams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Carr again. And Adams has it complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Griffin. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 22.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
They'll throw on first down to Griffin. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Check three.
On first down, Grant. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, it's Grant. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
And allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. On third down, Griffin. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
The Raiders on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 64 yards on the ground. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Griffin, caught by the tight end Ertz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the back. Backfield. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again. Griffin. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Griffin will throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Griffin. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. After the interception, here's Griffin. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Carr now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
From midfield, here's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Come on, QB, come on.
2nd and 5 now. Griffin. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Hey, check, go.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go back to Grant, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Griffin. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Maurice Hurst in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Griffin. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So out come the Raiders. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Carr going to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 40.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. On second down, it's Jacobs. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL. That's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about it getting it done? Proud of it.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. On play action, it's Carr. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
On second down now, it's Jacobs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. To throw his car, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. McManus's point after is good, and that will get him one closer. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This fielded at the 2. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action, it's Griffin. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in, it's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. It seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And now here come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They will run with Grant. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Here we go. 56. Mike.
Carr now on first down. toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Raiders on third down. 6 conversions in 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. Now Carr. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Here's Grant. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is RG3. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his carries tonight, they're getting up there. The Raiders swarm in and block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders get a score closer.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will shave one more off this lead. So the very rare blocked punt scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile,